Hello guys, I'm here with Thomas, winner of our F&M, playing his 4-color once again, with some new spicy inclusions. How are you feeling?
Oh, good. One cards are sweet. I had a spicy one of Elishnorn for no reason other than because we had a Phyrexian one, and I told my second round opponent what it does. That's not real. It's like, it can't be real.
The real question is what's the best art? Because there's like 13 to choose from.
I'm a fan of the Icar art when I get it. I will be degen opening for one of them, most likely, but we'll see. Well, I'll open one, and then if I'm hopefully lucky, I won't have to spend a shit ton of money on a bunch of money on cards that I don't need.
Yeah, and if you open it, then you have to play it in Risen Reef and Risen Reef accessories forever.
Yes.
We like this.
Yes.
We like this.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how the deck did tonight.
The deck was great, like usual. I cut a bunch of stuff. I cut the ephemerates. I have 2 ephemerates that I cut for 2 more prismatic endings, and I cut a basic land, so I'm down to 3 basic lands from 4 for a second main deck Beseiju, and that helped a lot for the Stoneblade matchup. The changes for prismatic ending were also because we had 2 people playing Enchantress last week, and I sat there and didn't have any way to interact with it once it was on the board. So more enchantment hate, more artifact hate. Prismatic is good, and I have the bolts to deal with the Ragavans. Unfortunately, less instant speed, but it's good.
So post all is one, you still feel like this is like a very good deck to be on?
I personally like it a lot. I don't know about I think the biggest deck that got the most changes was Tyvar being added to Devoted Druid. A lot of people are talking about that being game-changing, but I don't know if you can really play that still into Solitude Fury matchups. And then you have some decks coming out with Storm with Venerated Rot Priest, which sounds pretty scary, honestly. There was a couple lists that were running Spellskite to infinite trigger back and forth and put 10 counters on you in one turn. So we'll see what happens. But Fury, Solitude, and Omnath are still busted in half, so changing it up is not necessary until I start losing.
Yeah, and you definitely didn't lose tonight. What do you think the hardest matchup you played tonight was?
I played against Tron, against Rich, and he did not concede any game I had the Beseiju loop, which was all of them. I Beseijed him 4 times in a row, and he proceeded to take us to turns because I couldn't beat. It was just like he kept going. I was like, oh my god. He had four basic forests, so the game wasn't over at any point. And then he just started windmill slamming Karn poles, and I was just like, oh god. I've never gotten this far. Usually the game's over. What's going on? So it was really hard. It was really fun. Rich is a phenomenal Tron player, so it's just actually challenging to play that matchup for instead of normal where it's you Beseiju them and then they just concede. It's much more engaging.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to get there, even when the Beseiju loop wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
You kind of had to eke it out.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats on winning F&M tonight, and thank you so much for the interview, Thomas.
Thanks.